Damn, written by Brian Azzarello, art by Lee Bermejo. This is on DC's Black Label imprint, which is their prestige format. It's in a bigger book. They usually put their top writers on it, and it is supposed to be like DC's version of HBO and be sort of like adult and be sort of very kind of serious and let writers do stuff sort of out of continuity. Now, this series artwork is great. Lee Bermejo kills it. I've barely ever seen artwork like this. It is so beautiful, so detailed. I just love the style. Artwork is amazing. Now, the writing in this series, I am very mixed on. I did not really love the story, and I think a lot of people are disappointed in this series. It's very convoluted, very confusing, hard to follow. You know, I've read this thing twice now. I've consulted with Wikipedia entry sort of explaining the story. I sort of get it now, but it is a hard book to follow and not the most enjoyable read. It's enjoyable to look at, not really enjoyable to follow along the story. Now, Brian Azzarello is a writer I am mixed on. Some of his stuff I've really enjoyed. 100 Bullets, his Vertigo series, I loved in the beginning. Such a fun, interesting book. Such an interesting concept. Really good in the beginning, but then got convoluted near the end. Azzarello also did a Wonder Woman run at DC, part of the New 52. Great Wonder Woman run. I was really enjoying it, but it was also got confusing and convoluted as it went on and got a little bit hard to follow. And that's my main criticism of this book. This book also had lots of sort of controversy because in issue 1, it is the first appearance of Batman's penis in comics. So you see Batman's penis in this book. I'm going to show it later and talk more about the controversy as I start going through the story. But let's dive into the story in this book. I'm going to break down the entire thing, tell you my thoughts as we go through it. It should be a good time. This is a fun book to talk about. There's lots of kind of interesting things in here. So let's jump over to issue 1. So our first issue opens up and it's during a fight. Batman and the Joker fall off the Gotham Gate Bridge. The Joker actually dies, and Batman is knocked unconscious. And when he awakens, he is in an ambulance. Batman is fighting the emergency medical technicians working on him. He has all sorts of bloody wounds. He looks like he got stabbed in the stomach and like blood is pouring out of it. But he fights through these ambulance people and he runs off, only to collapse in the street. Constantine comes across Batman and rescues him and brings him to a hotel room. There in the hotel room, Batman learns of a situation from the news that the Joker is dead. His body was found near a bridge in the Gotham River, the very bridge Batman was found near earlier today. So Batman fears that, he may have murdered the Joker, and Constantine sort of believes this himself. But Constantine offers to form an alliance with Batman. Meanwhile, we see Deadman floating in the background. So throughout this whole series, you see a lot of DC's dark heroes in this book. So Batman wants to return to the bridge to investigate this scene of the Joker's death. And there's a homeless man there who is actually the Spectre. The Spectre, aka the Spirit of Vengeance, the Spirit of Redemption in the DC universe. But he just appears to be this crazy homeless person here. He claims to have seen the devil kill the Joker, and he's telling this story to Jim Gordon and the rest of the cops, who brush him off as crazy. So Batman wants to question this homeless man, the Spectre, but the homeless man begins to run away, and Batman's chasing after him. And the homeless man disappears before Batman can sort of get answers from him. Now, through a flashback in this issue, it is revealed that when Bruce was a child, his mother, Martha, discovered that his father, Thomas, had an affair with another woman. And while Bruce was playing outside, Thomas and Martha got into a fight, resulting in Thomas being driven away. Now, Bruce sort of playing, he fires a cap gun at his mom, Martha's face, and Martha was very upset by this, and she made Bruce promise to never point a gun at anyone ever again. So Batman's memories of these events start to become plagued by the Enchantress for some reason. I don't know why the Enchantress wants to mess with Bruce Wayne, but she is. In the present day, Batman goes to the Batcave to sort of recover from the day's events, falling off the bridge, getting stabbed, being in the ambulance, all of this. So he's in the Batcave, and he goes to take off his Batsuit, and then this is where we get our controversial glimpse at Batman's penis for no reason. So without further ado, let's see this Batwang, and... there it is, Batman's penis for no reason. This is a fun little controversy. So the Bat penis was in the first print issue of this series. They put it in there. It was kind of under the radar, but then it really blew up. Everyone in the news was talking about it. Stephen Colbert was doing jokes about it. Fanboys on the internet were commenting on it, talking about the length and girth of Batman's penis and making various jokes about it. And DC kind of didn't like all this attention to the Bat penis. So in subsequent reprintings of issue 1, they removed the Bat penis, so it's not in there, as well as the digital edition of the book. There's no Bat penis in that either. And in any sort of reprintings, you're not gonna have that Bat penis in there. So for people that do own issue 1 and have the Bat penis, that's a collector's item, my friend, because you have the only in-print picture of Batman's wang. I found the whole thing hilarious and stupid and amusing. Moving on, so Batman's in the Batcave recovering, and he begins to hallucinate that his Batsuit is attacking him. So Batman's Batsuit is attacking him for whatever reason. Later on in the issue, Batman and Constantine meet at a church where a statue of Jesus has been desecrated with a painting of the Joker's smile. So in this issue, we have lots of weird imagery, lots of poems on various pages. Everything is a little bit obscured and kind of avant-garde way of revealing the plot. So going over to issue 2 now, Batman begins to doubt that the Joker really died, so he wants to go search for the Joker. Batman is with Constantine, they're talking. Constantine encourages Batman to go seek out Etrigan the Demon for information. So then Batman goes to this cavern place where Jason Blood, aka Etrigan the Demon, is there, and he's apparently a rapper. Now, I'm going to attempt to rap what Jason Blood was saying, so bear with me here. So the crowd is chanting, blood, 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 blood. Jason Blood gets on the stage, and then he says, "What's my name? Yes, blood, the answer to your nightmare. J Blood is in the hole you dug for yourselves, the pit you can't fill, yet still you spill, over the edges, over each other, over and over, worm is your lover. You may bear now, you'll never recover. J Blood, I am in deaf man, be deaf mon, Etrigan. Welcome to my nightmare, surrounded, dumbfounded by the likes of what I hate, like the tiger roars, you great. My reality, fucking your duality. Man behind the mask, mind if I ask, who you hiding from? What's your black cat bat? Terrifies you, so you wear a disguise. It ain't these guys. You hear what I say? What? The mere crack decay? And so forth. You guys like that rapping? Don't look at me. I didn't write this shit. Brian Azzarello did. So Batman is all in Jason Blood's face. They're arguing. So Etrigan is angry for being interrupted during his rap performance. He orders the crowd to point firearms at Batman. Suddenly, though, an explosion destroys a building sort of next door, and when Batman rushes out to the street, the bat signal has been desecrated with the Joker's smile, and it lights up the sky. Batman rushes to the bombed building to try to save some lives, and while he's in the fire and flames of this destroyed building, he sees that crazy homeless person again. That's actually the Spectre, and the Spectre is yelling, "I see through the bat, I see your heart, I hear it cry, Judas, I know what you did, I know what you did." So the Spectre is sort of yelling at Batman for killing the Joker out on that bridge, although the whole story is told sort of disoriented like, and it can be a little bit hard to tell what is going on here. So the fire starts to get intense. Batman's fighting this Spectre, trying to get information from him, but the flames are barreling down on Batman and engulfing him. Batman is trapped. Batman's sort of dying here. Jason Blood, aka Etrigan the Demon, shows up to save Batman from these flames, but as he saves Batman, Etrigan tells Constantine he only did so for Batman to experience more suffering. I guess Etrigan is just so pissed that Batman ruined his rap performance. So once Batman wakes up, he is upset that he couldn't finish the conversation with that homeless man in the fire, because he feels like the homeless guy was giving him some information. And later on, it is revealed that this bombing of this building was orchestrated by Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn was unable to cope with the Joker's death, and it sort of pushed her over the edge. Batman confronts Harley Quinn. They fight for a few pages, and then Harley sort of ends up beating Batman with a baseball bat, and she injects Batman with a drug that paralyzes him. And then for some reason, she attempts to sort of sexually abuse him. She climbs on top of Batman, starts sort of like riding him, starts removing her outfit. We see these crazy scars on her chest. She is looking really crazy right here. However, Batman manages to fight through her, manages to gain the upper hand. And possessed by the Enchantress for some reason, he begins to strangle Harley Quinn against the bat signal. Now going over to issue 3 now, Batman awakens inside a coffin buried underground. How did he get in this coffin? I don't know. I don't think it was explained how he got in this coffin. The issue just opened up and he's in this coffin for whatever reason. And Batman's struggling to escape from this coffin, but all of a sudden, Swamp Thing rescues him. And Swamp Thing is another one of these DC magic-based dark heroes. And Constantine also arrives, and Constantine has an interesting back and forth with Swamp Thing. They sort of love giving each other shit, so interesting scene there. And then they're in this sort of graveyard, and the Enchantress shows up. And the Enchantress is like in this gargoyle or something, and she's trying to attack Batman. Batman and Enchantress fight throughout this graveyard, and Enchantress is seemingly defeated by Batman for the moment. Constantine then takes Batman to meet Zatanna in a club for magic-based patrons, where Zatanna uses a spell to bring them back to the night in Crime Alley when Bruce Wayne's parents were murdered. So we've had these various flashbacks throughout this series, and once again we are going back in time. We're seeing the Enchantress sort of messing with Bruce Wayne's past. So Enchantress is there that night of Bruce Wayne's parents' death, and she's trying to make some sort of deal with young Bruce Wayne to get something. It's hard to say. And then Constantine shoots and kills Enchantress, and he apparently shoots and kills little Bruce Wayne as well. And Constantine informs Batman that he merely killed Batman's past, and now Batman can let it go. And then it's all very metaphorical and very kind of weird. I don't know. I wasn't fully buying this part of the story. It was a little bit confusing and complicated. Why is this happening? Anyway, Batman concludes that it is time for him to visit the morgue to see the Joker's corpse. That's what this whole series has been about. Batman sort of looking for the Joker, and Batman potentially maybe even having killed the Joker and sort of coming to terms with that. So he goes to the morgue to see the Joker's corpse, but upon doing so, the Spectre is there once again. So Batman and the Spectre are talking, and Batman remembers his fight with the Joker on that bridge. So the Joker stabbed Batman with a knife on that bridge, and Batman thought the knife wound was fatal and that he would die. And throughout the tussle of this fight, the Joker trips and almost falls off the bridge, but he grabs on and he is hanging on for his life at the end of this bridge. Now, Batman instinctually puts his hand out to save the Joker and pull the Joker back up. But then, stuff starts going through Batman's mind. Batman, he just got stabbed with this knife, and he's afraid it's going to be fatal, and Batman's going to die from this stab wound. And Batman's afraid he's going to die here from this knife wound. And Batman's afraid that, if he saves the Joker and Batman dies himself, What would the Joker do if Batman was gone and not there to stop the Joker in the future? So Batman, with this in his head, retracts his hand and lets the Joker fall to his death. Jumping back to the present day once again, Batman's talking with the Spectre, and Batman wishes that he hadn't let the Joker fall to his death on that bridge. And the Spectre, using his magic, somehow undoes what had previously happened. We're back at that bridge, and it is revealed that the Joker survived the fall and is still alive, and that this is only the beginning to a new story. And that is how the series ends. So yeah, that was Batman Damned. What did I think of this series? Like I said, I thought it was kind of confusing throughout, convoluted, a little bit hard to follow, messy. All over the place. Like, why was Batman in that coffin? How did that happen? Why is Enchantress obsessed with messing with Batman and going back in time and trying to mess with little Bruce Wayne? And then how was that really resolved? Like, Constantine shot her in the past or something? I don't know. Why is the Spectre obsessed with teaching Batman this lesson about killing the Joker potentially and then trying to undo it? Like, what is happening in this book at times? What is the point of it all? The artwork, though, was gorgeous. Amazing art. That is my big positive in this book. I loved looking at it. I'm going to give this series a 6 out of 10. Now, if you like this book, Brian Azzarello did another story in 2008, also with Lee Bermejo, called Joker. So, you get to see the same creative team tackle Batman and the Joker once again. Kind of an interesting book. I also did a video on another Brian Azzarello series called Faithless that he's doing right now, which is a messed up kind of book. There's like magic and lesbians and sex and blood. It's all over the place. It's weird. Check out my video on issue 1. Also, if you like this video, please like it. That helps me out. And subscribe if you do not subscribe.